Okay, let's just hop into our default scene here. Let's get rid of the camera, get rid of the light for now so that we can focus on our box here. And what we're going to do is we're going to take those sketches we had from before, the front view and the side view. And I just have them out here in a window right here. And I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to drag those into the scene. And you can see it's just going to place them as images here, and I'm going to double click up here, name these accordingly. So I have my side view and I have my front view, and then what I'm going to do is create a new collection, which is like a folder. I'm going to call this reference, and then I'm going to put these in there, and then that allows me to easily turn these on and off. So now what we're going to do is center them up to the view. So we're going to grab both of these by holding this one and shift clicking this one. We're going to hit Shift S, and this wheel is going to pop up. And this is called the 3D cursor. And we have these selected. So we're going to want selection to cursor. And that's just going to center those up to the cursor and in turn center those up with our cube. Now we're going to come into reference. We're going to click side. We're going to hit R90Z. And that's going to rotate our photo 90 degrees on the Z-axis. And you can see here that now we have our side view and our front view kind of aligned up, so that when we press 1, we can see, let me switch to wireframe mode here. When we press 1, we can see our photo from the front, and when we press 3, we can see our photo from the side. And we can kind of switch back and forth and model that way very easily. And one thing I want to do before we start is take these reference photos and make them always on top. We can do that by clicking down here on the picture tab with one of our photos selected, hit depth, front, and then we'll do that here and front. And then unfortunately when we do that, we can't see our box because you can see that it's always in front. So what we're going to do is then use alpha, and let's make that 0.15. We'll do the same here and make that 0.15, and that just makes it see-through. Lastly, let's take this group, we'll click the filter, we'll click this little arrow that gives us more options here. We're going to click that, and now we can't select our photos. So with that, we're ready to begin modeling. So let's select our cube, come over here to the Modifier tab, add Modifier, let's add a subdivision surface. If you're struggling with your viewport lagging, then you can keep these numbers lower, but for now, let's turn this up to 2. We're going to right click this and we're going to shade smooth. That'll make our object look smooth. And we're going to hit tab and we're going to go into edit mode, and now we're going to begin modeling. But before we get started, let's hit Control R, click here, go into wireframe mode by pressing Z. Again, you can access those modes up there, but I'll be using the Z key throughout this. Let's click B, and that'll allow us to draw a box. And let's delete these vertices here, and then let's tab back out to object mode. Let's go here, let's add a mirror modifier, and that will mirror our entire model across. So now when we come in here, we can grab and we can move everything around, and you can see that it will mirror it on both sides. So let's go back to front view here. And if you get lost in which view I'm in, it is always labeled up here. So let's take these points here, and I'll try and use these gizmos as much as I can so that you can follow along with what I'm clicking. And let's drag this up there, and let's select these. So if you want to keep the gizmo active but you want to use box select, you can press B, and that'll give you this little cursor, and you can drag, and then when you're done selecting, it'll go away and go back to your gizmo. So we'll hit box there, and let's go ahead, kind of bring that over, and this is just kind of an adjusting game as we kind of play there. I'm going to bring the bottom of this box edge down to here, and we can see that it's not reaching all the way, and that's because that subdivision is smoothing things too much. So let's hit Control R with our loop cut, and we'll drag this down until we kind of start to get a little bottom there. Let's grab these, move those over. Now I'm moving kind of quick for the sake of time, and I know that may be hard for some people who aren't familiar with the program, so feel free to slow down or to pause and catch up, or if you need to, you can go ahead and just grab my project files and follow along that way. So let's go ahead and add another edge loop here. We'll put it right there. Let's grab these and kind of move those out there. Let's go ahead, add one more edge loop up here. I'm gonna grab that one, kind of move that in. Again, you're paying attention to this outline right here. Let's go ahead and grab this one, move that in. You can see that's getting a bit closer to what we want. And now this one seems a little too high, so let's go ahead and grab that one. And great. Now we have a pretty good shape from the front. You can see there that it kind of matches our owl body shape. Now let's go to the side view by pressing 3. Let's look over there and you can see that our owl is way too skinny. Let's grab these vertices and we're just going to kind of bring that line out to the edge. And again, let's bring these out there. And we're just kind of going a little edge loop by edge loop there. So there you can see that's kind of following the curve nicely. Let's grab his little butt, move his butt back there, and grab this and move this forward. Now your bird doesn't have to match this sketch exactly. This is just serving as kind of a reference for us, which we'll stick pretty closely to for the sake of this tutorial. Let's go ahead and add an edge loop here. And what we're going to do is we're going to take that edge loop and we're going to bring that down a bit. We're going to grab this one, kind of bring it over. And let's kind of take that down. Let's grab the back of his head. Now I've been grabbing the axis, but you can also grab these little squares and it'll move it on both axes. So let's go ahead and grab both those squares and move that there. Now I wanted his face to look kind of flat, so let's come back over here, kind of bring these back in. So I'm using the box select, but you can also use what is called the circle select, and if you press C, that'll bring up a circle and you can scale in and out and use that to kind of select. And then if you right click, it'll get rid of that little circle. And I sometimes kind of switch back and forth. So there we go. If we tab back out into object mode, let's make that solid and let's scale around. And here we go. We have a pretty good owl-shaped body, but if you notice when we come up to the top, he looks kind of square from these corners, and that's because we kind of started with a square, so that's to be expected. So what we need to do, let's go back into edit mode, and let's just switch over to wireframe mode. And you'll notice that I'm working in wireframe mode a lot, and if you're working in solid mode, you may be trying to select things and move them around and then realize you're only moving one side. That's because wireframe mode looks like an X-ray mode, so you can see the vertices from all sides and select all the way through. So that's just something that can be kind of troublesome for beginners. So let's go ahead and kind of move this in just to round out the face a bit. And we'll come up here and we'll grab this whole corner. And we're just kind of basically taking what would be considered the box corners and bringing them in. And there we go. Now we have more of a round little bird body. So let's go ahead and let's add these legs.